Believe the official report on 9/11? You won't need food. If you think the warnings on the Alex Jones Show are foolish, don't call eFoods Direct. For the rest of you, go to efoodsdirect.com or call 800-409-5633. You can't possibly know or control what government, corporate America, or others will do, but you can control what you do. Complete your supply now, efoodsdirect.com. 800-409-5633. 800-409-5633.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back. Are you fed up with all the side effects of chemicals in your shampoos and detergents? Even fragrances can signal some 4,000 separate ingredients, most of which are synthetic. Hi folks, Alex Jones here. Why not go back to basics and be safe with Calben Pure Soaps? They're all natural and you'll save some 85% the money you're spending for your cleaning products now. Marty Schachter founded Calben Soap Company in 1947 and provided products for health institutions. Now, Calben soaps are available to you and me. Triple concentrated for all your cleaning needs, from bathing and laundry to dishes, hair, and more. No harsh chemicals, no animal testing. I use them and love them, knowing they're all natural and safe, and I save big time. Call Calben Pure Soap at 1-800-340-7091. That's 1-800-340-7091. Or log on to 5starsoap.com now for a free catalog. Again, that number, 1-800-340-7091 or 5starsoap.com for all your cleaning needs.
Played some of these clips, but not all of them. I want to play 3 clips. Michael Savage saying he believes Obama will stage a massive terror attack in the United States and bring in martial law. Absolutely accurate. Suddenly he's saying we're right. Fox News saying they're setting up global government, global currency. Sean Hannity, unbelievable. We got Ann Coulter endorsing Ron Paul for 2012 as president. What is going on here? We're going to cover that a little bit later. So call everybody you know. Tell them to tune in on the local AM or FM affiliate you're listening to. It's come up in about 10 minutes. Tell them to listen on the internet at Infowars.com. I want folks to hear this. Call your mainline neocon friends that tell you you're a kook right now. Tell them tune in. They go to Infowars.com, click on there. No matter where they are, they've got internet. They can listen on their cell phone at Flycast. And tell them, I mean, they need to see this. This is everywhere. Why have they suddenly admitted we're right? That's coming up. Okay, Tommy Cryer, attorney at law, beat the IRS. In a nutshell, boil down how you beat them with the jury. That's why they want to phase those out. How they drag other people into these fake IRS courts and try to get them to plea bargain without ever seeing a jury. And some of the basic scams they run.
Their plea offers. They did, we didn't accept any because the whole issue was to get the issue up. And even if it meant, having to pay the ultimate price. But the jury, in my case, I was very fortunate, I think. I had a jury that was very attentive, and they listened, and they accepted the instructions regarding willfulness. And basically, they ruled that the basis of the verdict was that I no longer believed that I was under a legal duty to file tax returns. And that eliminated willfulness on my part. Now, they didn't have to decide whether I owed a tax or not. They didn't have to decide whether I was required to file a return. But they were astute enough, and it's hard to find a jury like that. But I was able to, apparently, to articulate what I had discovered, and they could see where, that was my genuine belief. And it's very difficult to convince a jury that you believe that the Earth is round when everybody knows that it's flat.
Now, what did the prosecutors do when they were defeated? Did it look like they'd been hit in the stomach with a baseball bat?
Well, everybody, they had a whole bunch of guys from the IRS in the courtroom to hear the verdict, and they just vanished. They evaporated. Nobody even saw them go out. They went out so fast. But the prosecutor did. I walked over, and we shook hands. He was doing his job. I mean, he's working for his master. And, it wasn't personal with him and me, and it still isn't. But, obviously they were not happy. And I'm sure that this did count as a feather in his cap.
Now, let's talk about Joe Bannister. This is a Treasury agent. Here's DV Kid on a mainstream radio show in the Bay Area of Central California, San Francisco. He pulls over, writes notes for an hour. He's going to disprove her. He's going to show she's a criminal, lying about that being a collections agency for the private bank. He does 2 years of research, recapping. We flew out there to interview him first. We're proud of that. We got him first.
He and I are so parallel, Alex, it's not even funny. We compared notes. Both of us were setting out to debunk this. Both of us spent 2 years pouring into it to find out why. It didn't take long to see that there was no liability provision, but it takes a long time to dig all the way back to the 13th century and all the way back forward, study all the constitutional issues and authorities, and understand why and how they did it.
But the issue is he was still even paying taxes for years as he went around the country exposing them because he knew how criminal they were. So they still indicted him for teaching people this, just like they did with Mr. Schiff, Erwin Schiff. So, I mean, it's just amazing. That's another example of their tyranny.
It's an example of, like, for example, I was listening in before you introduced me, and you referred to the Holocaust denial, and they put people in prison for just saying there weren't 6 million, there were maybe 5 million, or there were maybe 4 million, and they're putting people in prison for saying that, hey, what about the head count? Maybe the head count was wrong, as if that's injuring somebody. It's the same thing here. If you tell the truth, they're going to lock you away, or now their favorite is what they call 6,700 abusive tax shelters. If you tell people that there's no law that makes them liable, if you tell people that there is no basis for their treating your gross receipts in exchange for your labor any differently from Exxon's gross receipts, they don't tax them on 100% of what they take in, how they tax you on 100%. So it's only the profit, right? So it's if you deny that, then they come in and say that's an abusive tax shelter just for telling people the truth. And,
well, briefly back to the Holocaust thing.
They put a gag order against you. Now, is that First Amendment? I mean, do we have freedom of speech here?
Well, that's what I'm trying to say is I'm not wading into the whole Holocaust debate. Clearly, Hitler killed a bunch of Jews in it. But
the point that you made was dead on. The point you made
exactly.
Was dead on.
Do we have a First Amendment or not? I mean, exactly. Do we have a First Amendment or not?
We have one. Where's it go? And all of this you mentioned too. The 1913. 1913. This isn't just about the income tax. The income tax. 1913, 16th Amendment, 17th Amendment, cutting the orbs off of all the states. Taking them, kicking them out of where they had no representation in Congress anymore. And above all, the Federal Reserve Act. Everything works hand in glove to where they're siphoning off the wealth of the middle class, so that we're only going to have two classes in this country. We're going to have the rich, powerful ruling class, and we're going to have the peasants.
And by the way, the ultra-rich are now even robbing the nouveau riche while leaving their big Swiss accounts alone. The ultra-elite literally are just robbing everyone, including the middle class, the upper middle class, so no one can resist them. They're using the tyranny of poverty as a control mechanism, and the UN, Club of Rome, they all brag that's their system, shifting gears into those that control the private IRS here and over in England. I mean, they're openly announcing world governments saying all our money is going to be paid on interest to private banks for bailing them out. That's people. You think it's bad that they're just
bailing out. The bailing out is, and I'm not taking away from the sexual innuendo on this particular analogy, but what we are witnessing in front of God and everybody is a huge financial orgasm that is culminating from the consummation of an unholy and incestuous marriage of big money and big government. And that's what you're seeing. Right now, you're witnessing the consummation of this marriage that's been in the works for the last almost 100 years.
Yeah, they're butchering us. They're just stealing everything.